It is early June of the year 1855, and outside of the town of Walla Walla, Washington, a council is held. Present at the council are representatives of 6 nations: the Cayuse, Umatilla, Walla Walla, Yakima, the Nez Perce, and the United States. Despite the native peoples of the region citing their natural law to show their claims to the land, by the end of the year, the U.S. government had determined 3 reservations, the Umatilla and the Yakima reservations, and upon opposition from the Nez Perce, a reservation for them too. The Nez Perce Reservation that was established in 1855 was 7,500,000 acres in modern Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. According to the treaty, no white settlers were allowed on Nez Perce land. In 1860, however, gold was discovered on Nez Perce territory near modern Pierce, Idaho, drawing over 5,000 gold seekers who illegally founded the city of Lewiston. Farmers and ranchers followed the gold rush, and the U.S. government did little to stop them. In June of 1863, a small group of Nez Perce leaders were forced to sign 6,750,000 acres of their territory, 90% of their reservation, to the U.S. government, leaving the Nez Perce with a mere 750,000 acres. Under another 1869 treaty, all Nez Perce were to move to the new reservation, with many, including noted leader Joseph the Elder, who tore up his copy of the 1855 treaty and his Gospel of Matthew, rejecting the new treaties and the encroachment of the Americans on their homeland. Tensions continued to rise into the 1870s, with clashes between white settlers and the Nez Perce leading to the murder of several Nez Perce, with the murders never being prosecuted. In May of 1877, American General Oliver Howard ordered all who didn't follow the 1869 treaty to go to the reservation within 30 days and arrested the Nez Perce leader Tohuhuzote for speaking out against moving to the reservation. Other Nez Perce leaders, including Joseph the Younger, son of Joseph the Elder, and Whitebird, considered fighting, but decided it would be too costly, and agreed to move to the reservation. By June 13th, large portions of both Joseph's and Whitebird's bands had gathered at a prairie 6 miles west of modern Grangeville. That night, Whitebird's group held a ceremony called a teleclean at Tulla Lake, where warriors parade in a circle on horseback, boasting of their achievements in war prowess. According to the Nez Perce, an older warrior named Red Grizzly Bear, Hakats Ilpip, in Nez Perce, challenged several young warriors whose family was killed by white settlers, including a young warrior named Shore Crossing, or Wahitits, whose father was killed by Americans 3 years earlier. Humiliated and drunk, Wahitits set out for the Salmon River settlements with 2 of his cousins in revenge on their minds. One of Shore Crossing's cousins returned to inform the group that the trio had killed 4 white men, sparing women and children, and injured another white man who had treated the Nez Perce bad. This inspired 16 other warriors to ride on the Salmon River settlements. Joseph and his brother, Alakot, were away when the raids were occurring and returned on the 16th of June to discover this new state of war. Joseph considered appealing to the Americans for peace, but realized it was useless following the raids. General Howard had mobilized 106 soldiers with 13 Nez Perce scouts under command of a Captain David Perry to punish the Nez Perce and force them to the reservation. The Nez Perce numbered as many as 135, but many were drunk following the raids, and on the morning of June 17th were unable to participate in battle. However, by that morning, the Nez Perce were preparing for an attack in Whitebird Canyon. Whitebird and Alakot commanded an equal number of warriors and waited atop buttes. About 6 men stood on the trail with a white flag, hoping to discuss peace. However, when the American soldiers entered the canyon, they fired on a white flag. The front group of the American line, led by Lieutenant Edward Theller, dismounted and took up positions on a cow ridge, with Captain Perry to the left and east, and Captain Joel Trimble's group to the right and west. Perry believed his eastern flank was protected by civilian volunteers, but upon encountering Nez Perce, many of the volunteers broke, with those left stuck between an attack on Perry's eastern flank and snipers from Whitebird's camp. Perry attempted to advance to join Theller's men and charge the Nez Perce line on his eastern or left flank. Perry ordered his trumpeter to sound a charge, but he lost his trumpet, and with the means of communication lost, Perry decided to make a stand on the ridge. Perry ordered every 4th man to retreat to a sheltered location, and then marched his remaining men up to the top of the ridge. Perry began riding between the companies, trying to maintain communication. While riding, Perry saw the volunteers retreating. Soon after, both Perry's left flank and Trimble's right flanks collapsed. Trimble sent a man named Sergeant Michael McCarthy with 6 others to a high ridge to protect his right flank. Perry saw this and attempted to send reinforcements, but his orders were misinterpreted as a call to retreat. Trimble's men followed Perry's men, leaving McCarthy stranded. McCarthy and his men galloped toward the retreating force. Then Captain Trimble ordered McCarthy to stand his ground. McCarthy and his 6 men briefly held off the Nez Perce, but retreated again and were unable to catch up with the main force. McCarthy's horse was shot out from under him, and he survived by hiding in bushes for 2 days. McCarthy received a Medal of Honor following the battle. The Battle of Whitebird Canyon resulted in 34 U.S. soldiers dead, and only 3 Nez Perce casualties. The battle was the first major engagement between Joseph and Whitebird's forces and the U.S. cavalry, but it would not be the last. Joseph knew for this the U.S. cavalry would pursue him to the extent of their abilities, and thus decided his people's best chance was in escaping from the U.S. entirely. Thanks for watching.